There's an amazing story of hypocrisy in the GOP out today that none of us should be shocked by, but many of us will be because this has been largely ignored by the mainstream networks. So Joni Ernst, who of course gave the Republican response to Obama's State of the Union, and who is most known for castrating pigs, well, some of the main themes of her speech were what? The typical right-wing things that we always hear. She spoke about self-reliance and personal responsibility, and then she also worked in the idea of living frugal, with the fucking bread bags on her shoes because they couldn't afford sneakers, so, you have to find a way to make it work when you have no money. So she spoke about living frugal and saving money, and the government should do no wasteful spending, and just all the typical themes of small government. She hammered one after another. Of course, her jobs proposals were comical. She spoke about the Keystone XL pipeline. As if that's a cure-all. It creates 35 permanent jobs, but that was like the main thing she spoke about. That and repeal Obamacare and let's do more war. So all around, it was a folksy speech. It was a silly speech. But lo and behold, today we learned that it was also a hypocritical speech. Now, I want you to recall specifically, she said at one point that, well, nobody helped us. I mean, my family, we worked really hard. In fact, she said her grandparents came here and they had nothing but hard work and, quote, sweat on their brow. And that's what brought them success. Interesting. So, report is out today, quote, Joni Ernst family farm benefited from substantial farm subsidies. Whoops. Quote, Ernst family farm in Red Oak, Iowa, the place that she was bragging about, received over $460,000 in farm subsidies. Family members received conservation payments, commodity subsidies, and agricultural aid. $460,000! And she's talking about personal responsibility. I can't take it, man. I can't take the hypocrisy. It pisses me off so much, you have no idea. It hurts. Like, I start to feel it physically. Like, there's a physical pain associated with hypocrisy that I've now begun to feel every time I hear a Republican talk. Because, understand, the people who scream the loudest about personal responsibility in small government, the studies have all shown that they take the most in government benefits. Remember when we did the story about a year and a half ago of all the different Republicans in the House who took farm subsidies as they were screaming about the problem of big government and food stamps? I got news for you. Food stamps are about $1.30 a meal. That's not a big deal. You know what is a big deal? When your punk ass takes over $400,000. You have the nerve to scream about people who are taking less in order to survive. God, man, when you look at the numbers, it's clear that the bigger net receivers of federal tax dollars are the red states. So the blue states who admit, like, yes, we believe in having a social safety net and we believe in redistribution of wealth, we are more productive. We actually net pay more in taxes, whereas all the red states, Oklahoma, Kansas, Mississippi, they're sucking up all the government money as they scream about how personally responsible they are, and we don't want no goddamn big government. Well, if you get the government out of those states tomorrow, they would fucking implode. They would collapse in on themselves. All we want you to do is admit the reality. That's all we're asking. That's all we're asking. Just keep it real. Just say, all right, look, let me put it all out there. Yes, my family took over $400,000 in subsidies. Yes, it helped us tremendously. And yes, that is an argument for some government. I mean, it's not like they paint this straw man of Democrats as if Democrats believe that everything should be government all the time and we're always in favor of bigger government. That's just flat out not true. We believe in efficient government. We believe in smart government. We don't believe in big government when it comes to the NSA and when it comes to the military and when it comes to a trillion different areas. But when it comes to, hey, if you're about to lose your house, should there be a government program that makes it so that you don't have to sleep under a bridge when it's 13 degrees outside? The answer to that is yes. Hey, if you're a child born to a crack mother and you're born in a place where there's no economic opportunity, should you be given an education? Should you have health care if you need it? Yes, the answer to that is yes. So it's a complex issue and it's a nuanced issue. And the answer isn't big government all the time. I love how I just gave the Democrat a Southern accent. The answer isn't big government all the time, and none of us say it is. But the problem is the conservatives do say the opposite. They do say, no, always small government, always personal responsibility, always self-reliance, always deficit reduction. But when they say it, they don't mean it. They don't mean it for them. Because for them, they'll swim in the seas of socialism all day long. But when they talk about small government, what they mean is for those other people. For the people who we don't consider part of our tribe, part of our clan, part of our group. So if you're a white person, if you're a Christian, if you're a Republican, you're part of the in-group. It's okay if you take some government money. If you're on Wall Street, by all means, please have at it. Blank check. Take whatever you want. Here's some bailout money. Here's some stimulus money. Here's some corporate welfare check, a subsidy. So if you're part of the in-group, you can loot the treasury all you want. It's just for those non-Christians and those poor people and those minorities. Ugh, yuck, minorities. No, you don't get any money because if you take a penny, that means you're a moocher, that means you're a leech, that means you're a parasite. And we've seen this hypocrisy time and time again. I mean, look at Chris Christie's the perfect example. Screaming about how he doesn't want the federal government involved in his state, screaming about the virtues of small government. The second Hurricane Sandy hit, what did he do? Hat in hand, went to the federal government. Please, FEMA, I want 100% reimbursement. The law is 80%. He said, I want 100%. What happened, big guy? Where are your bootstraps? I can't find your bootstraps. I thought that's what you cared about, right? You're going to just give up your virtues and your principles the second that something bad happens? Disaster relief is probably the clearest example of where this happens. But even with, gay rights, take gay rights. Dick Cheney, I'm a conservative. I believe in family values. We don't want no stinking gay marriage. Rob Portman, a Republican, same thing, made the same argument. What happened? As soon as they both found out that they had gay family members, all of a sudden they're like, gay marriage? Yeah, I changed my mind. I'm for it. Oh, really? So all it had to do was affect somebody in your family, and then you realize, okay, this is fucked up. I wanted to discriminate against other people, not my own people. I get so angry over this, man, because it's stupid. Like, you're just stupid if you can't take a minute to step outside of your own shoes, put yourself in somebody else's position, and then view the situation from all these different angles. Because you know what you call that when you try to do that and when you do that? That's called objectivity. If you don't do that, you're just a subjective prick. You're a myopic idiot. You're xenophobic. You're close-minded, quite literally. But they do it time and time and time again, and it's almost like they bask in it, and they enjoy the fact that they're hypocrites on issues like this.